Hello. Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. Oh yes. Hello. How's it going? So I want to continue with the reasoning that we did yesterday on the sequencer and that because I thought that I was done, right? I said, "Oh, I'm done because now I have the ability to branch, right?" But the ability to branch is one piece. In reality, we need a bit more than that because so the idea is to start with a scene, right? Start with a scene, which is kind of the intro scene, right? And then at the end of the intro, we have a choice, right? So the player makes a choice, right? And the choice is A or B, right? And this is two shots, right? Two separate shots. What I was right, so there is like option one. Wow, that's big text. So it's like option one, and it is option two, right? Now we play the sequence fully. Now what I was thinking is, does it make sense to play the sequence once and then it ends? Or do you want to play both and see what happens and then choose the one that you like the most? Right? I think that is a big question. So in theory, I can let you play option one, the sequence option one. I can let you go back and play option two. And then choose one of the, right? But this may be also annoying because you have to play, go back, right? And maybe that's a bit too much. So basically the question is, do you make the choice here? Or do you make the choice at the end of the sequence, right? So like at the end of the sequence, I have two options. I have confirm or go back, right? So this way you don't have to go back and forth multiple. Well, you still go back and forth, but only once, right? The problem is that where do you see the actual explanation of what you are choosing? So for example, there can be like we have designed, right? There is a kind of a there is something that is a bit broken. If you do many radical choices, does the game push you to go to another MMO? What? Ula, all okay today or what? All okay or what? No, all the choices are correct. There is no wrong choice, right? All the choices are good. They are just different. It's like you may decide to eat an apple or to eat an orange, right? But both are okay. You are still eating something. So it's not that one choice is wrong and you stop, right? Understand? My only question is, do you want to see the sequence? So like here, right? So I start, I see the first sequence, and then I get the choice, right? And we are here, right? We are here. We get a choice. And the choice, I think the choice should be explained a bit, right? It's not just a button. I think it should be explained. And maybe it should even be highlighted somehow. I don't know if we can highlight stuff in the sequence while we are... So for example, right? For example, there is the cathedral that we have designed, right? So the cathedral with the two windows, right? With the two glass windows and whatever, and the thing here in the middle and whatever, right? So and maybe you see someone, right? You see someone here at the top on a wooden thing, right? There is a guy here that is falling down, right? And the guy is falling down, right? The guy is falling down. And maybe you have two ways to save him, right? So one way to save him is to just because there is maybe another one here, right? Is to just climb yourself, right? I mean, by yourself you climb this thing, you know, by yourself you climb this thing. That is you, right? That is you, and you throw him something. You throw him a rope or something, right? You throw him a rope, right? And then maybe and this is option one, right? This is option one. And then option two is option two is that you don't do this. You don't do this. So you go towards a group of people, right? That are here. So here there is a group of people, right? And you rely on them, right? And you rely on them for to help the guy, right? Or something like that, right? There is a group of people. I don't know which color I can use for the group of people, but this is okay. So there is a group of people, right? There is the group, right? And you basically evaluate that is too much for you, or anyway, it's too complex to solve something solo, right? And so you ask them, right? And so you ask them to help in whatever way, right? And so this could be the first choice, where you have to choose between more of an individualistic approach or more of a social approach, right? And now the only thing that bothers me a bit is that yes, we can have the two crystals, so we can have, you know, the two crystals, right, like we said, and you can choose one or the other, and these are the two choices, right? These are the two choices. So you will have, I think you will have it in this screen, right? You will have, you will probably have it in this screen. So you will have the two choices, option 1 and option 2. And these choices will be explained somehow, right? So it will, the only thing that I don't know is if I want to explain it here, or I want to explain it at the end. So like in this screen where you have the choice, it says rely on the group, the strength is in the numbers, right? Rely on the group, the strength is on the numbers, and you prefer to build a team to increase your chances of success, right? And the other one is saying you rely on your skill because you know that you are quicker and faster, and you think you can do it by yourself, right? And so you make that choice, right? You make that choice. The only problem is do you think that do we offer the choice here? So meaning here with the explanation, and then you play the sequence and it ends, right? Or do you play the sequence and then you can confirm it and go back, right? But I think the idea of going back is a bit weird, right? Because if it explains you already what it is, I think is probably enough. So I think it's probably enough. So you make the choice, and the choice is, now I don't know if I want to show the crystal, right? Should this crystal be shown like next to the guy or next to the group? Or should the crystal be shown only on the UI? No, I think it should be shown in the. I think it should be shown in the 3D world. I think it should be shown in the 3D world, actually. I think would be better. And if we can make it, in a way that you see from this sequence, you basically see the scene already, and then you have an indication of what is happening, right? I think that would be the best. Do we have the... No, we don't, huh? This sequence test thingy is separate from the other project. Fuck. So I have to redo it all on the other project, but it's okay. We will have to do it multiple times for sure. But yeah, that is what I'm thinking. Do we want to have a kind of a minimum gameplay or not? Because I could have a minimum gameplay, right? So I could have something that you have to press at the right time. to actually complete that story. So let's see, now it starts to become a bit complex, but let's imagine that your character can actually jump, you know, from one place to the other. And if you don't press a key at the right time, it doesn't, right? And the sequence ends. So basically, is this sequence only a video, like a movie, or is it interactive in a way, right? So that is why, I mean, we can make it interactive. The problem is that it becomes even more complex to do, but I think at least it's a game, right? At least there is some gameplay involved. Do you have any suggestion or idea? Do you understand the setup, and do you have any suggestions or ideas? I know it's not an easy take. And do you think it will be interesting anyway or not? I mean, not all the island have to be like a sequence. They can also be an island where you have something different, right? So where you have maybe something to do yourself. But I mean, it's like if you are doing it yourself, right? Just that is a kind of a sequence, but it's like if you see something and then you, because having the possibility to actually do it physically with your character. So saying, oh, we complete the sequence, right? And at a certain point in the sequence, you are actually, what happened? I lost my mouse control and everything. We didn't do it for choice number 2. No, we did. Why it didn't work? It's a bit strange because we have in the stop sequence. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Why didn't do this? That is strange, huh? Why didn't do it? It didn't go to end of sequence. It's kind of strange, actually. Maybe it works only for choice 2 because I have huh? Something is happening. Something weird is happening. So I think here we have the choice and the pose, right? And then here I have 246. Probably because this should be at 245 and not 246. Bro, can you please go to 245? Thank you. Because this starts 246. And we don't have the... No, but it should be the same actually. It seems that the end of sequence doesn't happen. Pretty much. It seems that the end of the sequence is not happening. It's not finishing. This sequence something you meet only one time in the Death Realm. It's not the Death Realm, it's the Draken Plane. But yes, yes, only one time. It's only the introduction of the game. Yes, is the game introduction. So you see it only one time, never again. I don't understand why this binding doesn't work, right? Why this binding doesn't work? You have to do it after play or what? I don't know, it's kind of strange. Maybe when we play again, you know, we have to bind again. It's kind of strange though. I was expecting this to be called, right? But it is not called. It seems the sequence finished is not... It's not called. I think we have the G pressed, I assume. Somewhere here. I cannot see it, but it should be here. You selected choice 1. Yeah, G pressed, you selected choice 1. Start a new camera cut cinematic actor 5. Yeah, basically this bind is not executed. It was executed before when we had no pose, but now that we have the pose, and so we go through. I don't know if the reason is that the play is happening inside this character instead of the play happening inside of this. That's a possibility. But yes, it's something that happens only at the beginning of the game. And never again. But I don't even understand why the binding here is not working, right? That's very strange. Probably because you bind on the play. It's kind of strange though. Let me see what happens like this. It's not triggering. It's not triggering with 1, it's not triggering with 2. Oops, 2 is huh? Uh-oh. Market frame, short 3. Yeah, exactly. Did we mark it or not? Maybe we didn't mark it. Yeah, we marked it, yes. Which, by the way, should be more here than there, but... It is marked. Why is not... Something strange going on here. Something very strange. Let me close the sequencer because maybe that's the problem. Because, you know, I've seen that when you have the sequencer open, he's doing weird things. No, he's not playing the. He's not playing the shot 3. It was working yesterday, right, or whatever. When it was yesterday. It was working yesterday. So what changed? I think we had it working yesterday, yeah, right? We had it working yesterday where our shot 3 was basically our same object but rotated upside down, right? And we were calling shot 3 and we were, yeah, doing that. Let me see if this is getting triggered somehow. Because maybe it is. Maybe we are triggering this, why we should not trigger this. I don't know. It's kind of strange, huh? Yeah, request to stop. What the hell? Request to stop? without playing the sequence. So it means that this set position doesn't work. It means that this doesn't work. This is a set playback position. Maybe because the remove from parent is done before all of this. Maybe the window is getting destroyed. Okay. Let me believe that for a second. I don't think so, but let me believe it anyway. Well, I can also avoid, let me avoid remove from parent for a second and let's see what it does, right? So actually the 2 buttons will remain on screen, but it's fine. Just as a test, 1 second. So actually like this, it kind of works. I think yes, if you remove from parent early, we mess up the... No, but still option 2 doesn't work at all. Market frame. Shot 2, shot 3. What the fuck? You cannot find shot 3. Maybe we marked it inside a shot instead of, let me see. Maybe we marked it outside instead of marking it inside. I don't know if it makes a difference actually. But for whatever reason, shot 2 seems to work. But it's possible that it's not set in the playback really, because the shot 2 is just in the same sequence, right? It's very strange. It's very strange. I called it 3A. It's kind of strange. So this is inside the shot, right? Inside a shot seems to work. Why? Okay, anyway. I mean, for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it seems that if I mark something here outside of the shot, is not working. I don't know, it's very strange though, but okay. I don't understand why, but fine. So it seems that I have to set it. So for example, if I set it from the middle, it would be shot 2, right? So this in theory should start from the middle now. If I select choice 1. No, it doesn't. It's completely ignoring the... Do I have to save it? Because sometimes the editor is a bit stupid when you don't save stuff. It happens, for example, with particles. If you don't save the particle system, sometimes it's not updating it the proper way. It's not doing what it should do, right? He's not jumping to shot 2. He's not jumping to shot 2. I don't know why. Now he's jumping to shot 3A. I mean, it seems that you have to rename it to make it work, but that would be weird, right? Shot 2A. Shot 2A. Shot 2A. There is something fishy going on. Oh wait, I had this thing open, by the way. There is something not working. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let me see if I say frame 65, right? Let me see if I say frame 65. Frame update method jump to a specific position without triggering the events in between. Play update from the current position to the specified position you the current. Wait, I think we have to do jump then, not play. Probably we have to do jump. I think we have to do jump, boys. That may be the reason. No. Doesn't give a shit. Okay. Well, I mean, we can also separate the... I mean, one way would be to separate the sequences completely in different files. Because, I don't know, but it seems to me that it's not really doing what it should do, right? So I have a market frame, but it's not... I mean, we can go by frame. We can go by frame. And say 165. But I don't know, it seems to be stupid that we cannot do what we want. It seems to be weird, really. We can try to do... We can try to do frame. But then frame is what? Frame is frame number. So 165. Okay, frame number actually worked. Frame number actually worked. I don't know why the marked position doesn't work, but you know, if it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm not using it correctly. I don't know. I was thinking that, but fine. So we can do the same here, right? And it is the frame, the overall frame. So for us in the sequence will be 246. Right, 246. Okay, now it works. Yeah, now it works. And actually it's also working now for the return to the mouse. So this one is ending, and we see end of sequence, right? But choice 1 is actually not ending, which is very strange. Request to stop. Choice 1. Ah, yes, because I have the marker. Ah, okay. So it is not going into... So it is actually ending here, but it's not calling the sequence end, right? Because the sequence is not finished. It's stopped prematurely. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. So we will have... So if we want to get back to our... okay. I think it's fine. So this is basically useless, actually. The way to do it is that when we end, we do this again, right? Now, it will be good to maybe have just one single function instead of having two separate functions, right? One for the stop and the other for... because basically I have to do the same thing again here, right? Oh crap. But it's fine, it will reset. No, it doesn't. Yeah, if you have the sequence already started, it becomes a mess. I don't know why, but it becomes a mess. Okay, it is good. Okay, now it works. Let's see if now he ends. Yes. Okay, good. Now the only difference is, yeah. No, I think it's good now. I don't know why end sequence, I don't know why we saw end sequence twice. Which is a bit weird. We saw end sequence twice. In the log, I saw 2 lines. Yeah. End sequence inside of choice UI. Choice UI C0, choice UI. Ah, because I think we created 2 times the UI. Ah, yes. So we bind twice. Yeah. Correct. It's okay. It's just because at the moment we have this create UI, right? Which obviously we should not do, right? We should create it once, and if it's valid, we just reuse the value, right? So here we need to have a variable which actually is a choice UI, right? And if it's valid, we just reuse it, right? Yeah, so but it's fine. I mean, it is a minor point, right? It is a minor point. It is very minor point. So if it's not valid, we do this, right? Oh, wait a second. I'm not pressing F in any possible way, right? I'm not pressing F, so we are not here. We are in another place. We press G and then we hit the choice UI, and then here we create. Ah, it is. Okay, it's here. Yeah, because I did it in two places. I did it by pressing F, and I did it by. So actually the variable should be here. I don't know. I think that the variable may be in the. But anyway, for now this is not a problem. I will do it properly. In the real project. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Yeah, now it's complaining about this. Because I'm not completely sure I really want to do it this way, by the way. So it's a bit of a mock-up. Yeah, but if it's valid, we just reuse it. We don't want to create a new UI, right? Okay. It works. Okay. Nice. Okay, so the point is, there are two questions. The first question is, do we want the choice to be made here, or do we want the choice to be made at the end? That you see how the sequence, you see how the sequence ends, right? And this may be hard to do. Actually, option 1, option 2 may be hard to do. So at the moment, I may even skip the creation of option 1 and option 2, right? Because if you want to be brutal, right? If you want to be brutal, we can play the intro, ask which choice he wants to make, and then just end, right? Without playing this piece. If playing this piece is too hard to build, right? Like this guy actually being saved, right? This guy actually being saved in a way or another. So maybe we can add it later. We can add the options, the movie later. Now, what I'm thinking is that this situation will be the same for every character that you create, right? And it's a bit annoying that it's not race-based, but doing it race-based is madness, right? Is 9 races, so is absolutely impossible. I cannot have 5 scenarios multiplied by 9 races, right? So it's not possible. It's too much. But yeah, if you want to do the minimum, right? The minimum, we can actually only play the intro. And then ask for choice number 1 or number 2. And then have only one sequence that is basically having the pieces disappear, right? I mean, obviously it will be way better to have the whole sequence created, but yeah. Okay, so now the question is, okay, so basically we have the technology, right? We have the technology to do what we want. The problem may be the animations and the speech. By the speech, we can put it on top with the generator, right? With the AI thingy. So now I need to think, do I want to build one in the demo project, or do I want to build one directly in our project? I think I would like to build one in the demo project, because doing it already in our project is a bit heavy. We have to move all the... I mean, what I can do, I can copy the dry chem plane here actually, or Okay, let's launch the other project. Let's launch the other project. And okay, and here we have the sequence, right? So you will arrive from one of the path, right? You will arrive from one of the paths, and then you will arrive on one of these islands, right? And I don't know if the texture will be this, probably not, right? So we have to decide the color of the island, and we also have to have probably some additional particles. And the question is, how does the trigger? So does the trigger when you... I mean, I would like you to explore a bit. So yes, I think you can walk around, right? You can walk around, and if you want to walk all around like this, you can. You can go next to this and look at it, and you can go next to this and look at it. But then there would be a place, which I don't know where is it, but I think maybe would be the middle here. There will be a trigger area, right? So a place like we have in the other project, right? Like this, that is actually triggering the sequence. And this one we did it with with just an actor placed on the scene, which is a proximity trigger with a collision box. And this is just doing on overlap, right? Is doing something. I don't understand too much why it's doing this create level sequence player, right? So why we have to create every time? I think we should create only once probably, right? And then play from this object. So we should probably store it inside our I don't know if I should store it inside our level or our trigger or whatever, but in theory this is a level. There is a level object, right? So we said that we have it. We said that we have it here. The only problem is that if I take this and I want to put it here, it doesn't do anything because it's not inside the level. I don't know, the fact that we have the object dropped into the map, but in reality we create it again confused me a bit, right? So there is already a level sequence. And I don't understand why we cannot use the level sequence. It seems that the only place where we can use that level sequence is inside this blueprint. Yeah, exactly. In the blueprint we can use table and chair. And we can, yeah, and we can play, right? So yes and no. Hello, who joined? Hello, Neris. Hey, thank you for the raid. Hello, hello. Welcome, raiders. How is your project going, Neris? I'm working on something that is kind of different from what I've been working normally. So it is kind of a sequence, an animated sequence, like a cinematic scene, right? That happens at a certain point in the game. And so I'm trying to understand how it works. I think we pretty much understood how it works, and now I know how to play the sequence, how to show a UI to make a choice during the sequence, and then how to play another sequence based on the choice and things like that, right? So also I understood how to substitute your player to the actual character in the sequence, which is nice because this means that we can use the character that has been created, so the real character, the real player character, not just a dummy neutral, you know, character, but really the one that looks like our player. So so now what I was thinking is, okay, you arrive here and there is a sort of trigger, right? So we need to create a new actor, and the actor will be just simply we can call it Draken Island trigger, right? And the trigger will have the collision box, right? As yeah, and the size of the collision box will be, it is in meters, so it is actually this is actually 1 meter by 1 meter. Is it? No, it's not. Because this is 10 centimeters. So it's a weird value. It's like 65 by 65. Okay, anyway. That is not a big deal for us. We don't care. As long as it looks okay, it looks correct, you know, it's fine. So this trigger can be fairly big, I would say, right? So can be, yeah, 1 meter tall, and or 60 or even more. And in terms of sides, I think it can be pretty big. Can be, you know, like 6 meter by 6 meter or something like that. So that the player cannot miss it, pretty much, right? We don't want the player to miss it. So when he's in a range, when he's inside his range, can even be bigger than this probably, right? But if he goes, yeah, if the player goes next to the middle, the only problem is that he can go all around, right? And miss it. So, or we put it exactly where he's exiting from. So, because we know there will be an entrance to this, right? There will be a path to this island where he's arriving there. You spent 4 hours fighting a bug in GitLab. Oh my god. 0 progress today, but at least you found a workaround. Yeah, there are those days. I've been doing some like that recently, where I was trying to migrate one of our wikis to a new release, and it was just not working for different reasons. Sometimes, yeah, you hit like a wall. So I'm saying, okay, for now, we will decide this. You know, we will decide this later on. I think it's fine. The point is, where is the player start here, by the way? Do we start anywhere? We start... the problem is that this thing does not have the collision done right. It doesn't have the collision correct. Because this is what? Platform 02. I think he has a very weird collision. He has a very, very weird collision. Yeah. Well, I mean, the model is so simple that we can actually use complex as simple. So it will be like that. So now we should be able to walk normally. Yeah, now I'm able to work normally. So if we now, let's assume that I arrive here, right? And I don't know if these things are too big, but maybe we should make them slightly smaller. They are very, 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 very big. I was not expecting them to be so big. I mean, we can make them smaller. They are super big. Okay, but anyway, apart from the sides that we can change, let's try to think to the logic, right? So how this will flow. If I can select this. So you arrive, let's say that you arrive at the center, but we'll probably trigger it earlier than that. So let's make it a bit larger so that we don't have any problem in hitting it, right? So let's make it 25 by 25. So it is basically everywhere, right? So it's really big. Okay, like that. So it's impossible to miss if you walk around a bit. So this guy will trigger on overlap, right? And it will be similar to this. Now, I don't know if I want to create a level sequence or if I want to reuse a level sequence. Should we set the level sequence on the player as soon as he enters into this level, or what? Yeah, I think it should be. I think it should be on the player, right? Or on the player controller. On the player controller is the same. But it should be here. So it's unique, you know, wherever we go. Even if when you change island, then you will have a different sequence. Yeah. That I don't understand yet how it will work, right? If we have multiple sequences. No, but I think it would be the same. We will just jump between sequence and sequence. I think it would be the same. So the first thing the choice UI should do, not the choice UI, sorry, the wrong project. The first thing that our yeah, the first thing that we should do here, right, in the trigger, when we overlap, on component begin overlap, right? Exactly here. The first thing that we should do, apart from saying hello, which is always good, apart from saying hello, we can call it overlap, right? We will check if our player, so we will do a get pawn, get player pawn. Here we are on the client, so get player pawn 0. No, this is always a bit risky, but you know, choose the pawn for the player controller at the specified player index. Okay, yes, so this is us, right? This is us 100%. So we cast it to our third person. If I can type, I cannot. We cast it to this, and then we extract our level sequencer, right? So we check if this is valid, and if this is valid, we just reuse it, I assume. If it's not valid, we create and we assign, right? Exactly. Then whatever happens, level sequence player object, level sequence player object. Okay, so it's another type, huh? Level sequence player object. Okay, so it's this actually. Yeah, it was another type. What the fuck? Why? Level sequence, it's this one. Level sequence player object. Level sequence actor object. sequence player object, level sequence actor object. Level sequence actor object. There are 1 million of these things. We don't know the difference at the moment because we are very new to this whole idea, right? We are very new to this whole thing, but when we do it once, then it will be done forever. Okay. Okay. Then now the only problem is that I mean, here we don't have a sequence yet, right? So do we want to do the same? So do we want to do the sequence with shots? Yes, I think we have to, right? So we add a level sequence with multiple shots, and we play. So in theory, how many shots we want? 3, right? We want 3 shots. Okay. We have 3 shots. So, and this thing is named sequence route, whatever, right? Sequence route. Now, we know yeah, the problem is that can we rename it? Because this will be like sequence island 1, right? Sequence island 1. And then in theory, I can create, hopefully, I can create another sequence that is called Sequence Island 2, which still has 3 shots, right? Warning, level sequence with shots exist. Who cares? Can I have 2 or can I only have 1? No, I can have 2. I mean, it seems that I can have 2, right? Because for every island where you go, you will have a different sequence. So here I will select level sequence island 1. What the hell is going on? Uh-oh, the rename didn't rename. I mean, the rename renamed the object, but didn't rename the sequence. Seriously? Sequence Island 2. Sequence Island 2? What do you mean? Sequence Island. Huh? Why they are all pointing to the same one? I think it doesn't really like the having 2 sequences, 2 level sequences, but I think that this thing is kind of convoluted. I think it's probably simpler if we just create completely different shots. Sequence Island 1. Sequence Island 2. I mean, I should be able to reference these two separately, right? Yeah, I think I can. Okay, so is the name of the object in the content browser is not the name of the object in the outliner. I forgot to ask about the wiki. Everything fine now? Yes, I find the solution. I find the solution has been a bit problematic, but yeah, the wiki is up and running and he has all the images. Now the layout is a bit messed up, but not too much. I think it's good. The wiki is fine. It's kind of working now. Yes, it is working. So that is fixed, which is nice. Okay, so now that we have our sequence number 1, right? We want to trigger it when we are there, yes. And I mean, obviously we will want to trigger it only once, but there is another problem, right? There is another problem. So I go there and I play my sequence. Now at the moment it is doing nothing. So if I trigger the thing, yeah, it will just change the... I'm still moving, right? So in theory I can still do stuff, but I'm bound to the camera, and we don't want that, right? So we want our player to basically disappear. And this is something that we did already, because actually we have these hide all players, right? Or I can hide myself, is the same. But in theory I want to hide everyone, including... I want to hide everyone, including the other players, because there may be other players in the same area. Right? And we want to exclude them from the sequence. So I think that the first thing that we want to do when we overlap, actually, is to hide everyone, right? GG. Is to hide everyone. So now this will be a bit tricky because I think we will have to choose all the players in the sector, not all the players everywhere in the game, right? Because there will be a bit of a waste. It's only the players that are actually in the same level. But this is something that I will have to think about more when we are in the real game, right? In our game. At the moment, this is just a test level, right? But it should be in this sector in theory, right? So, but anyway, we hide all the players, including myself. We disable movement. We disable movement so that we cannot move. Disable movement. Did we disable movement or no? We didn't. But anyway, I think it would be good to disable movement so that you cannot move. You cannot move through the scene, or I mean, no, you should. Yeah, you should. I think we should disable movement. I think we should disable movement. Yeah, exact. Disable movement in character movement. And so the character cannot move, right? And then now this trigger I think we can reuse, right? We can reuse this trigger in our game. So I think I will copy just the trigger, and that would be good. There will be changes that we have to do because obviously our player will not be a third-person character player, but fine. So we hide everyone, we disable movement, and then we actually trigger the first sequence, right? So that is the triggering of the first sequence. And now the first sequence, what we'll need to have, right, is that he will have to summon the pieces. I don't know if I want to have a big particle effect or something, but I think there should be, yeah, there should be a sense that something magical is happening, right? There should be a sound first of all, which is like a sound of time warp, which I don't know exactly how to do it, but it should be a very kind of weird sound that it, you know, you're basically going back in time or you are seeing something from another reality. And then I think we can have particles one by one that are making things appear. Should they appear? Because these pieces will be here already, right? So this basic scenario will be here. But then there will be additional pieces popping in. And what I don't know is if I want the wall thing to fly down from the sky, or if I want the pieces to appear with like a particle effect on it, right? I think because falling down from the sky, I think will look kind of strange. While appearing with a particle on top, which is like a fog or something strange, right? I think would be okay. Or we can also have a flash, right? Like if it's like, yeah, like a flash. I don't know how to express a kind of a flashback, right? But we can probably have that is why I was looking at these effects, right? So like if we can make the scene a bit modified like this, right? Like if he's underwater. Now obviously it's not underwater, but like waving a bit, like the whole scene is waving a bit, right? So, or we can have kind of I think we need like a wow 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 sound of some kind, right? So something that is the problem will not be very easy to find a sound that fits this and it doesn't sound stupid at the same time. Free sound is becoming extremely slow. I think this website unfortunately is in trouble. I think there is 1 million people using it, and it's becoming a bit slow. Yeah, it cannot even load the main page. Yeah. This website is in trouble. It's a pity because it's a fantastic website. Really, really, really nice. I think it should be something like I mean, we can also use one of our magic sounds, but like We have a lot of effects for. Let me see. Maybe we can reuse one of our sounds actually. I'm thinking to Mind Blast or. I mean, those spells that are actually affecting the mind. I think we have some that are fairly weird. The problem is to have a particle effect that is big enough to, but I think it should probably be a post processor because it should affect the whole camera, right? I mean, we can put it on the, I think we can play an effect in front of the camera of the sequence. Things are getting more and more complex, my boys. This is our main project, so here we have a bit more stuff. Wow. Why I don't see any? Is under magic? Is under magic. Yeah, we have a lot of magical sounds. This one, for example, is not too bad. It should just be probably longer, but oh wow, that's scary. We can check the ones on the Phantasmal Voices is fantastic. This is not too bad. This is also not bad. We could have something like this. Wow, super long. Why so long? 30 seconds. Very cool sounds, by the way. Are these sounds playing in game well, or? Wow, this one is very cool. It's a bit scary, but... all these ones are very nice, actually. They are a bit scary, but I mean, depending on how the sequence plays, but if there is a big particle effect, you know, I think it may be cool to, and remember that this will be in darkness, right? So this will be in darkness, so you will see things appearing, and the sound will be played, and you will see the particles and such. But I think we need to have a very large particle effect that is covering, that is like played where the main pieces are appearing. So I don't want the pieces to appear and that's it, but I would like the particle and then the piece to appear. And the problem will also be, how do we move the camera, right? Because the camera at the moment is like here at the top, right? So this is the camera, is looking there. He sees this, and the only thing I don't know is that camera really the right one, or doesn't look like. I don't know which camera is, because this camera, if it's this camera, that is what he's seeing, right? It seems that there is another camera or something that is pointing on top of. So we are playing, we said that we are playing sequence 1. Sequence island. He has no camera. He must have a camera. Yeah, he has this camera. So why this camera? It looks different here than when he was looking. Wait, because if we do this, it becomes a mess. Yeah, the problem is, how can this camera see the whole scene and still be meaning? Because I think the scene is a bit too big, actually. I think the scene is a bit too big. I think we have to make it smaller. Because this is what the camera sees, right? And it seems to be a lot. I mean, it seems to be too small. Even if I am in the scene somehow. Okay. Yeah, I'm not in the scene because but I think in this one, I don't even know if I want the player, right? So the player may be maybe not there. Anyway, what I'm realizing is that, I mean, building this is gonna take quite some time if we want to do it right. How big is this? How big is this guy vertically? This guy is 15 meters. Is 15 meters. Wow. Wow. No, it's too big, boys. 15 meters is insane. 15 meters. 15 meters is like 5 stories, right? It's a building of... Yeah, no, it's too much. There's no way. No, we need to shrink it. At least the problem is that then the island is too big. But it's okay. We can make the island smaller. But I think that 15 meters is really insane. I think it should be probably, I mean, 0.5. So yeah, let's say that half of that, this is 6 meters, right? Is already 2 stories high. The problem is that now everything is disproportionate somehow. But I can scale everything 0.5 and see what happens. All right. So yeah, the scene will be smaller, but I think it is the way it should be, actually, because otherwise it's too much. Now the debris are giant. So yeah, the island needs to be smaller, I would say. So let me see how it feels now. Yeah, it feels more reasonable. Yeah, and also for the camera it seems to be more reasonable. Even if, I mean, our camera is so far away and is taking only that shot. Is the field of view so small? That's kind of strange, huh? Is the field of view so small? But yeah, this may actually be enough, actually, because so the scene can be something like this, which is already big, right? For what we have to do, I think. Yeah. Now, okay, now if we somehow play the sound, which I don't even know exactly how to do, but we will figure it out. So I think when as soon as we trigger, we should play a sound. I don't know if it's this one or another one, but anyway, it should be a sound of some kind, right? I think that under dark we have a lot of interesting sounds. Like this, for example, right? In this one, we put it under this. Okay, so now we have our sound here somewhere. So, so can I play this sound in my sequence? I really hope so, but I mean, I'm pretty sure yes. So in my sequence island, after I don't know how much, but after a few seconds, right? I mean, nearly immediately, I want to play. I want to have an audio track. Yeah, exactly. It is recommended to use the audio clock as the clock source when working with audio tracks in sequence for improved synchronization between animation and audio. Would you like to switch to the clock source now? Yes, if it's recommended, why not? I don't know what is the difference, but fine. So we will play this thing, right? Which lasts all this time. Okay, it's fine. I mean, maybe isn't even too much, but pretty cool. It got cut off because the sequence is too short, right? But I think we can make it longer, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know why it starts so short. Huh? I don't know how to change the length of the length of this thing. Seems I cannot move this. I don't know why. Should I move it outside as well? Yeah, that is the problem of having the sequence of shots, right? That you are like bound to the duration. Yeah, still not doing what we want. Well, somehow yes, because now it's 420. Yeah, so it seems to be. Yeah, he's taking he's taking the length from the father. I'm still not fully convinced that having the sequence of shots is better than having a single animation, right? I think it's probably at the end easier. But okay, this at least will last way more than before. I mean, a few seconds more. Yeah, you see that now it's not cut off, right? And then imagine that this is night anyway, right? So at the moment we are not in a night because I think if I change the rotation of the directional light, I don't remember if the sky atmosphere that you need to change, or if it's the skylight, or if it's the direct light. But there is one that is changing day and night. Maybe it's directional light, source angle. No. I don't remember which one it was. Ah, this one. Okay, this one. So it's the Y of the directional light. Now, obviously, if it becomes complete night, yeah, the sky will be different anyway. There will be no clouds, right? So it's a night setting. So I think I can even disable completely directional light and put another light, which is here, right? And have yeah, they would probably be the best actually. I think we should probably disable directional light completely. The problem is that if I play, directional light will be there. So I delete it, or I have to set it to 0. Well, I can set it maybe to 0 intensity. If I set it to 0 intensity, we are in complete darkness. Apart of those two, yeah, because these are emissive actually. These are emissive, so they emit light. We can change that, but we can also leave it like that. So okay, we have to think to the colors, right? Because I can add specific lights, but the problem is, what is a light that actually makes sense in such a scenario, right? So do we want to have a kind of a slightly purple light, or not? This would be not super easy. Where is the yeah, inverse fall off? Exactly. I want to remove this. I want to have the exactly, but I also want the intensity to be lower. Kind of lower. I think we will need a lot of lights and some indirect light probably. Yeah, the problem is that they reflect on the ground and that looks kind of silly. Yeah. Well, the reason is that this material is reflective, right? We can have a material that is not reflective, so that doesn't happen pretty much. So at the moment this grass material is specular and roughness, yeah, so it should be like specular 0.2, roughness 0.8 or whatever, so completely absorbing the light or nearly, so that it doesn't, still reflecting a bit, but way less. Yeah, way less. Yeah, the light setup will be very important, right? To give the proper effect of the light setup is relevant. And by the way, we can add a third one. I mean, it's not that we need to have only two. So if we want, we can have another one here. But then I think we have a problem of the camera that is like stopped by, right? Because our camera, I think, is in front of this. But I think the two sides anyway are more than enough. I think two sides are good. 3 sides is also cool, but maybe I can add a full wall. Okay, so what I would like to do after the sound, which is always nice, but what I would like to do is to have this particle effect that are basically making the objects appear, right? And the people appear as well. So we will have at a certain point, you know, a guy appearing here, for example. You know what I'm thinking is that whatever I do now, I will basically have to redo, because okay, I can import the scene, but the scene is not the sequence, right? The sequence is tied to what we have in the game. So we can make few tests like this, but then the real sequence, I will have to recreate it completely in our game with the real objects, because I don't think I can just copy this sequence to another project and assume that it works, right? I think all the items would be broken, right? So I don't know the portability. I don't know the portability of a sequence, right? Hello, pawns. Why to make an MMO? Well, because I really like fantasy settings and you know, exploration and dungeons and the kind of things, right? Which all point to an RPG. I mean, to an RPG more than an MMO. So, but yeah, let's say a multiplayer RPG. Then the massive part probably is not really the main characteristic, but let's say the multiplayer, yes. So the fact that you can you know, explore with other people, you can make a party and explore and have different people contributing to the success. Like one maybe is more of a wizard, another is more of a fighter, another is good at removing traps, and another one is, right? So I like the idea of a party with different skills. That is something I always liked. By the way, our MMO is released, so if you want to play it, you can just go to our website and click on download now. And download it for Windows, for Linux, and also for Mac, by the way. I don't know if I want to have some weird lights, right? Maybe smaller but stronger, or weird colors that are giving a sense of a strange ambience, right? Probably I will have to do that somehow. The problem, I think, will always be the reflection. But yeah, the reflection on the ground is a bit annoying. But I think it's already strange enough like this, right? So it already looks a bit out of this world, with the fact that now if we could have particle effects, right? The problem of particle effects is they're not super easy to adapt to this situation. We have a lot of particle effects already, so I can see if I can reuse any. What is this? Cannot see anything. I see. No. Yeah, because this was for underwater, right? This is for underwater. So what do we need? We need a large a portal. We need a large looping portal. I mean, in theory, we could also have like warp portal, but nah, I don't think is reasonable. I think it should be a cloud, right? Like a cloud of some kind. I don't know why sometimes you cannot see the particle effect. Or it's too low, or it's too high, or it's in another place. I don't know. I don't think it should be fire. I think it should be like a fog, right? I think it should be like fog. I think we need like a smoke thingy. But the smoke thingy, I mean, if we make it expand from the center to the side, and the problem is that this thing is black, so black on black, it will not do anything pretty much. I mean, it will be invisible, but yeah, something like that. I think something like that, not something like this. I think this one is too much. I think we have smoke shrines. No, I think it should look more like I think we have a lot of packs for smoke. I think we have 1 million. So if I go and search, I may actually find it. But it's in other packages. Oh wow, what is this? There is relaxing sleep, huh? That is very nice. Should we use this one? As something that appears, you know, and then the problem is that it's not covering enough. That's one of the problems. There is not covering. Ooh, this one, if we make it blue or this one could be, huh? Yeah, it is magic sleep. It is a single thing rotating on a sphere, it looks like. Let me try to move this one and this one. Well, there is the same one, just in a different color. Let me try to migrate this to... Oh wow. Okay, fine. So if I want to spawn a particle, right? So how the hell do I do this? Add what is a fade track? Ooh, you can fade in and out? Yeah, but if you fade, are you fading to black or you fade into the existing scene? Because I think if you fade to the existing scene and you have a different camera angle, may look pretty weird. How do I add... No, I think I need to drop it in. I think we need to do this. We need to go here and drop it in like I drop... so if I go under particles, right? And I search, yeah, like this guy. And now I drop it inside the sequence somewhere, like here. And spawned. How do I see if he's here or not? What is the location of this guy? Spawned, yes. Well, spawned. I don't know. Let's spawn like. Can I spawn here or? It doesn't really look like. Huh? It seems he's not spawning at all. Particle system component 0. I mean, we can see when we play, but it's strange that it's not shown in the sequence. No, it's not. It's not doing anything. Spawn, transform, location, rotation, or scale. Why doesn't work? Event trigger. This is a bit strange. Or it's too small? No, I don't think so. I mean, it should be. It should be there, right? So if I exit from the sequencer a second and I put this here, right? We will see it, right? You see that we see it. So why if I put it in the shot is not visible, right? Why? Why if I just play normally? I don't know. Is there a trick or something? Is there a trick? Add particle to sequencer. Navigate into a particle asset and drag into your level. If your effect runs continuously, then it's a good idea to disable the auto activate properly in the particle detail panel. Nine minutes. Nine minutes, my boys. Particle system activate. Particle system activate. Particle system activate. Particle system. There is auto activate, but I don't know if should I do this? Doesn't do shit. Why? No, wait. Auto activate on. Why is turning it off? Why if I select and I say key is turning it off? Huh? Why? The problem is that this is very old video, so it's probably not gonna work as expected. And you see, this guy, as soon as he drops it in, is automatically... Ah, but he drops it in the level though, or no? Yeah, he drops it in the well, he drops it... Yeah, he drops it from the level to the... I don't want to drop it in the level, I want to drop it... Particle system activate, deactivate... Particle system... It's different. It's different. No, this video is too old. It's not working. There is 2 years ago, but it's 2 years later than the other one, so it's slightly better, hopefully. Just want to see if he's also dragging the particle in the level, because that's kind of annoying. I don't want to have it in the level, I just want to... I want that... Yeah, it's dragging in the level. Meh. I don't want to have it in the level, I want to drag it in my... I want to spawn it in my sequencer only, I don't want it in the level in any way. Yeah, so what he's doing is adding a track with sequence actor, yeah. I mean, I can do that, but it's not what I want to do. But anyway, let's see if that way it works, but it's not the way I want to do it. So if I drop it here, right, and then I put it in my sequencer based on this, yeah. And then I say that I want my Okay, let's see what it does. It does track. Now I got a component, which in my case is this component, right? In my case, is this component, particle system component 0. FX system toggle track. FX system toggle track. I don't have that, unfortunately. Ah, yes, is here. Okay, so maybe we have it also on our one then. Ah, yes, we do. Ah, very nice. Ah, very nice. So we have it also on our one, so we can... let me delete this guy and hopefully it will work. Wait. I want to remove this guy, right? Yeah. And then I want to open the sequence again. And then in my first shot, I want to activate here. Ah, very nice. Very, very nice. Incredible how someone can do a video of 10 minutes to just show you that, but I mean, maybe they're explaining it very well. I don't know why it's appearing here and not there, but it's because probably I didn't move it in the my so I probably need to have the transform set. So let's say that I want it there, right? So can I lock the transform there? Yeah. And it stays there or not? No, it's kind of moving. I don't know why. I don't know why it's born in one place and it's born in one place. It seems that it's born there for whatever reason. But it's fine. We can set it at the beginning, right? We can set it at 0, 0. When we spawn it, we can set it in the right location, and then it will stay there. Hopefully. What? Interesting. Okay. Okay, now it stays there. Now it stays there, but it's not active. Okay, great. Now, I don't know if I want to have it exactly this way, right? But this would be kind of an idea, so that this thing, maybe not this color, right? So we will have maybe a blue color. We will change color somehow. We have to see, right? If you want to change it, but yeah, we're probably gonna change it. We can rename it to... No, we can't duplicate. I think I have to duplicate it to blue. And then I will try to... I think also that I may increase the number of... So color over life, constant color. Oh wow. I don't know if this thing is actually gonna look decent, but it's kind of a test. We will see. Okay, it's kind of a blue thingy. We can actually, I think we can actually spawn more than this few that we have. It's spawning 8. I think I will spawn like 18 and see what happens. And I think we will spawn them on larger Initial location. Initial location 50-50. Let me try 80-80. So it's slightly bigger. Okay, and we can place more than one if we really need, right? But the lifetime, I think is okay. I think it's okay. So if I go to my sequence right now, unfortunately, we have to drag in a completely different one. Anyway, it looks like sequence. Sequence boys is like another job, right? Is hard. Definitely hard. Where the hell did the guy spawn? I mean, it's nice because you can play everything in the editor, right? Now, with our characters, I don't know how much it will work, because we will need to have... But if worst come to worst, we use the characters... We use bare characters, or we create characters with options just for the sequences, right? I can do that. So I can attach like items to the sockets, and I can just save the character. Probably, maybe. And so those actors will be used only for the sequence. What happened? Okay, so now it doesn't want to stay in place. No, it does. Okay, so for example, here we activate, right? And I don't know why it cannot stay in the place where I'm putting it. Holy moly. Please. Because maybe I'm not placing it in the right location. Could be. The fact that we are below 0 is confusing. But fine. Transform. Okay. So now you stay there. Okay, so what we can do, right? So we have that, and then now obviously at the moment we don't have our character, so I will have to drop this guy, right? I will have to drop this guy. Something bad is happening. I think everything starts at 0-0 probably, right? That is why. Now I have no idea how this will look, because obviously yeah, this one doesn't have an animation on. But we can play the standard animation in case, right? Why the guy's there? He's there because he arrives already. No, we actually want we want the character to exist only. We want the character to exist only here, right? Kind of here. Yeah, it will be a bit brutal, right? I mean, if the particle is not covering the player completely, it will look anyway not very good. I understand that. So we will have probably to have a particle. Yeah, because you see that it's like, because this effect is kind of transparent, but yeah, but that would be the idea, right? So the idea would be to have an effect which is covering the character, and I don't know if we can have I mean, the best would really be to have a transparency here, but so that the character is like fading in. But I don't know if this can really fade in. I mean, that would be fantastic if it can, but I don't know if it really can, because I mean, to allow to fade in a character, it basically needs to affect the materials, right? So I think we will have to do it. I think I will have to do it on the actual materials. I don't think we can. I don't think we can fade in something, but for the sequencer will be super important, right? Because I think that the fade. Yeah, with the material. With the material, the problem is that the actor has multiple material, multiple pieces. Yeah, I think this is the only way. Yeah, you have to do with the material. There is no magic. I mean, there is the fade track. Let me see what the fade track is so we understand this as well. Fade track. Short one. Camera track, fade track. Okay. Okay, can you add the fade track? Okay, fade track. Now what is it doing? It's doing a 0 from there to there. Yeah, but I think it will just yeah. You can choose the color. Okay, you can choose the color. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Now, fade to track is very nice. I mean, we can use it as it's basically a transition effect which goes from full light to black back to light, right? So it's good. It's good. I think we can use that, but it's not what I want to do here, right? So what I want to do here is to have my character fade in. And considering we are multi-material, and by the way, I don't even see a way. Character move component, character mesh. No, character mesh. In theory, the texture is on character mesh, right? So is on character mesh or is interpret? No, it's in character mesh. So character mesh. The problem is that this is not expandable. I cannot do it. Why? Mesh. Yeah, mesh as my material. Yeah, material is material instance queen, right? Material instance queen probably has an opacity thingy. I mean, I hope it does. If not, we can add it. But in our character, it will be slightly different. We can change the tint to black, right? And I think that this will make, well, it's not really working. It's not really doing what we want, so it's not really fading it. I think the only solution is to have a particle effect which is strong enough, you know, and not transparent, so that is like fully covering. Now, if the effect is fully covering, then we are good, right? And I think that this is probably the solution. At least it should be fully covering at the beginning, and then it should fade away slowly, because the particle effect can actually fade away, and so the effect will be the same. You see the character basically appearing, right, beyond that screen of stuff. But at the moment, I think it's too faint, right? So the character basically appears, right? So look at the left, yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but the character basically appears because the opacity on this choke thingy, the opacity. I don't know if I can decide the opacity of this. Alpha over life. Yeah, actually there is an alpha over life. Yes, there is. Is 0, 0, 3. So we can try 1, 1, 1, 1, you know, and see what happens. And it's probably not the best, but so in theory now is 0 opacity, but it seems that probably is not really true. Also, it's starting to mess up with the Z. It looked a bit weird with 1 everywhere. It starts to mess up. But I would say that this is kind of a minor thing, so it's not really super important. Yeah, the more you go, and the more is transparent. But it needs to start from 0, because otherwise it doesn't give you the sense that it's appearing, right? But still is very I mean, if I do 100 right now, I went a bit crazy with the number of I went a bit crazy with the number of particles just to do a test, right? And but unfortunately I have to go. The annoying thing is that the character is really bumping in. I don't know how to say, but it's really, the character is really bumping in. It's like teleported, right? I think the blue is not bad. I think the character should arrive later. Should arrive a bit later. Why there is that frame where it's basically warping in all fucked up, right? Do you see that? So there is a frame where the character is like teleported in and is like shaking for a second. I don't know why that happens, but it definitely happens. So the character is like boof. It doesn't happen here in the simulate, in the sequencer, right? It's not happening. Yeah, it happened now. So the character is like warped in and is bouncing like if it's stabilizing the skeleton or something. She's very strange. Maybe because it doesn't have an animation. Maybe because it doesn't have an animation. Okay. How did we add the animation the other day? Oh, now there's a lot of the material actually appeared. Animation instance. Animation instance. Animation. Money idle. What is it? MF idle. Animation. Can we have this animation from the beginning or not? MF idle. It still warps in weirdly. I don't know. I think it's actually the I think it's the light that he has on the I would like to see if I really look at him closely, right? I think it's the beam of light that he has on the torso that is kind of messing up. Oh shit! This thing that if you don't, okay, My bad, my bad, my bad. You have to... You have to click on the... Okay, this should be good enough. Camera transform, boom. Oh wow, it's gonna go away. I don't want that. Anyway. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, this time he didn't do it. Maybe it was the animation then. This time he didn't do it. I mean, it's falling a bit to the ground, but it's probably because the position is not correct. I think it looks better. Yeah, but if you don't have him spawned, then how can you move him? Huh? Interesting. If I select this guy, okay, now I can. Now, but if he doesn't exist at 0, right? How can I move him? But yeah, because he's doing this small jump, right? He's doing this small jump, so I think if we position it kind of correctly, it will actually work fine. Yeah, I think it's so yeah, we have to play an animation, which can be the idle animation. Yeah, but doing this is taking forever, guys. I don't know. I mean, it's nice. I like it. It's fun, but it's kind of taking a lot of time, considering that this is not what. Oh my god. This is not what. This is what? 0001. I don't get it. Where are we here? Frame 0. Huh? Frame 0? Yeah, it doesn't do anymore the weird thing, right? Okay, good. So if you have an animation, probably the skeleton is reacting better, and so is not doing that weird effect. But yeah, I think that yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to test tonight. But yeah, I finished my time. There is more that we could do, right? And yeah, there is more that we could do. including maybe adding more broken columns and debris and all of that, right, to make it more believable. Can do that. Even like that. And yep. So I will be back tomorrow. We will try to continue with this, probably, and yeah, we will try to find. I mean, at the moment, I'm basically testing this thing, right, and trying to understand if I can do it and if it works and if it's good enough for our purposes and all of that, right? So I'm trying to understand if we can use it, right? And I think we can. It's just that it's not super easy to set up. But basically here you will have a you will have a scene, right? You will have a scene of someone speaking and a group of people and all of that. The problem is to architecting all of that, putting all the pieces, putting in all the sounds, the voiceovers, the movement, the animations is really long, right? So it takes a lot of time. And so I have to think if I really want to do it or not. I will have to think about it deeply because this is gonna take dozens of hours, right? So if we want to do it right with our 2 hours a day kind of timing, it may take a month, right? It may take a month, easy. May easily take a month. So we have to think if we want to do it or not. But I would think at the moment I'm saying yes, but we have to think about it a bit. Okay, guys. So I will say bye to you. And I will see you tomorrow evening, 9:30 p.m. European time. Bye. The AI can help. The AI cannot use Unreal Engine, unfortunately. Maybe it could, but it doesn't use Unreal Engine.